The world is now heading towards a new history. China and Russia, two economic and military giants, finally joined forces to teach the United States a big lesson. With a new alliance that has been secretly formed in Asia, Africa and the Middle East, they agree there is no more place for American goods. This is not just a trade war. This is a new chapter of economic isolation that could really panic Washington. President Trump, returning to the White House, did not expect that his brutal tariff policy would trigger a reaction this big. Instead of making China submit, Beijing joined Moscow and key countries in the global south to form a free trade bloc. America, they not only raised tariffs by hundreds of percent, but also banned the entry of automotive technology products and even food from America. This is an unprecedented global economic boycott. While America struggles to maintain its image as a trading power, the world is starting to turn around. Factories in China are still on, trade routes to Africa and Eastern Europe are getting busier, and Russia is offering cheap energy to partner countries. Trump may have big plans, but one thing is for sure now, the world no longer needs America like before. And when the global market closes the door, the only question is, who will save the American economy this time? This alliance is not playing around. They officially announced steps to end dollar-based trade, replacing the transaction system with local currencies and digital yuan. Even some Middle Eastern and African countries are starting to follow their lead. There is no more market for American goods. American factories are starting to tremble as their exports are destroyed. Meanwhile, China and Russia are quietly accelerating the world depolarization agenda, blocking all access of the American economy to global energy and infrastructure projects. They are collaborating with bridges, even some Southeast Asian countries. And this is not just a bluff, this is a declaration of global trade war that has made the American stock market shake violently. China and Russia are now leading the anti-dollar alliance, relying on local currencies and gold for international transactions. This is no longer a tariff war. This is a global economic war that is changing the world order as we know it. America is now facing a crisis of international confidence, and the world is starting to move without them. The latest trade war between the United States and China is no longer just about import tariffs. This has turned into a major blow to the dominance of the US global economy. President Trump's decision to raise tariffs to 104% has backfired greatly, shaking the confidence of the world market in American products. Since the announcement of the super high tariffs, various countries have started to respond strongly. China immediately retaliated by imposing additional tariffs of 15% on key American products, including coal and liquefied natural gas. But what is more surprising is that China's response did not stop there. Instead of weakening, China has actually strengthened in recent weeks. Beijing has accelerated the formation of a strategic alliance with Russia. Southeast Asian countries are strengthening cooperation in the Eastern Bloc. The Bridge Bloc is starting to unite, and their target is clear: reduce dependence on the dollar. Domestically, many American companies are now starting to panic. Apple experienced a significant decline in sales in the Asian market. Tesla postponed a new expansion in the Asian region due to logistical obstacles and market rejection. American brands are no longer a symbol of prestige, but instead have become a symbol of the problem. Economists warn that Trump's strategy does not take into account current geopolitical changes. The world is no longer bipolar like the Cold War era. Alliances between developing countries are now much more fluid, flexible, and pragmatic. They choose economic stability rather than bowing to American pressure, and here lies Trump's big blunder. Instead of breaking China's power, he actually unites its old enemies. Russia is now openly supporting China in this trade war. They are even accelerating the integration of ruble and yuan-based payment systems. Other bridge countries such as India, Brazil and South Africa have also begun to express interest in using local currencies in global transactions. Slowly but surely, the world is starting to move away from the dollar. The impact is very much felt. The dollar exchange rate is starting to falter in several international markets. Global investors are now starting to look at gold and other non-dollar assets as the hedge against the dollar's decades-long unshakable dominance is starting to crack from within. China itself, they are increasingly confident in expanding the use of the yuan in international trade, especially with energy and food-producing countries. Even Saudi Arabia is said to be considering exporting oil in yuan. American pressure is no longer scary. What is Indonesia's position in taking this opportunity? Do you still not understand, officials? One thing is for sure, the world is no longer the same, and the global economic map is being rewritten without America as its center.